Hello everybody, hope you're doing well today. Thank you for dropping by, and I sure appreciate you watching these videos, and I hope you're having a lot of fun with it. Today we have something a little bit more exciting than usual. We're going to learn a complete song using just chords with no note reading, just using the knowledge you've already learned in the theory lessons. So just to reiterate what we had talked about before, we had looked at this Disney book, and this is a great book, and you can see that they have lots of chords in here, okay? And I always use this one as an example, like what if we just wanted to play this without using the music, okay? Maybe, you know, a friend played guitar and they knew how to play Circle of Life or something, okay? If you're playing with other musicians, the chances of you pulling this out and them knowing it exactly in the same key would be few and far between. So it makes it hard to play with other musicians. Now, if you could play this piece and say, okay, if you could have a guitar player and you could say, okay, well, I want you to play these chords, then they could accompany you, and that would be cool, okay? So this basically just gives you lots of versatility. So remember, we learned the C major scale, okay, and we talked about, this is kind of our calculator for figuring everything out on the keyboard. So the key of C doesn't have any sharps or flats, and you can see in this piece of music there's no sharps or flats here, so you know you're in the key of C. So you should know all these chords in here, and ignore some of these slash chords, but you know basically all these chords by harmonizing this scale. When we did this C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C. And remember, we said we had three major chords. We had C, F, and G. That's going to build your foundation of chords, okay? And then each of those three chords had a relative minor, okay? That's where we have the D minor, the E minor, and we have the A minor. And the B diminished is just kind of an oddball kind of a thing. So we're not going to worry about that one yet. So, and another way to look at these relative minors, you know, if I play this C up here, if you go down three, 1, 2, 3, there's C's relative minor, it's A minor, okay? And you've heard that progression before, like in a lot of songs. Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do locomotion. Okay, see, that just popped into my head right out of nowhere. So you can see where that comes in, okay? And then, so you have to remember C's relative minor, this is the A minor. Okay, then, so right off the bat, then you can see we have C, A minor, then there's a D minor. Well, D minor is the relative minor to F. So again, if we go C, D minor, E minor, F, if you count down 3, 1, 2, 3, well, there's that D minor that's in this song. You can see they just didn't pull that chord out of thin air, okay? And then here's our G, which is the 5 chord, okay? Then C is 1. We should do this real quick too. Remember when we were talking about giving the scale numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could call the C chord 1, okay? And we could call the A minor the 6 minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's a minor, 6 minor. You could call it that way if you wanted to. A lot of musicians do so. But just for now, just a piece of information as far as that goes. So I'm not seeing, we do have some off chords, like, okay, and I actually had brought this up in the theory lesson. Look at, here's that B flat, okay? So if we were playing, I would say, okay, it's in the key of C, and there is a B flat that's an off chord that's in there, okay? So say for example, I could just go through these chords. Here's the A minor up here. Now we have a D minor, and I'm going to go oom-paw rhythm, 3, 4, okay? Now up to my G. minor 7th. We do that just if we want to. And we got a G. From the moment we arrived on this planet, blinking into the sun. And here comes that B flat. Okay, so on it goes, and if you were to sit down and practice that for, I don't know, an hour or so, practicing it, you could totally have those chords down and you could do lots of fun stuff with it, okay? So you can see the importance of knowing those chords and how you can instantly be playing lots of songs and learning all these chords, okay? And the more you play around with it, the more ideas you'll come up with, okay? Like this D minor 7th, we talked about that, okay? This is the 7th note right here. You can see it's the flatted 7th, and if you look at your root note, the flatted 7th is always going to be right below that, okay? And I just put it here on the top. Okay, and then these other chords, I wouldn't worry about those too much, like the G 7th over B. So these slash chords, don't lose much sleep over them right now. What this is, this, for example, D minor over C, okay? You can see how it looks like a fraction. If you flip it, you know, flip it up like you were writing a fraction, like the D minor would be on top. So you would have D minor over C, okay? You're just gonna flip that around. So here's what they're playing here is they've got a C. What they've got is a C and a D minor. Right there, that's what they're telling you to play. Sounds cool. That's a cool relationship. But that's the chord D minor over C. Let's look at this one here. G 7th over B. Okay, we haven't learned a G 7th yet, so let's just play what we know. Let's do a G over B, okay? C, D, E, F, G. There's your G chord. G over B, and here's a B note right here. Okay? So that's a G over B, okay? And the B flat. So when it comes to the B flat and the B chords, let's talk about a couple things there. Notice that we said we're playing all white notes when we harmonize the C major scale. And notice we always connect, we always have a, we go from white to white, okay? And remember we said we can make a minor chord by flattening the 3rd. Remember we flatted the 3rd, we flatted the 5th. But notice that you're going to go from white to white all the time, okay? Even if we play like some of these major chords. But in the case of the two B chords, the B flat and the B, look what happens. Now we're going to go black note, you're going to end on a white note, okay? Now look what happens if we do a B chord, okay? Remember you have 1, 1, 3, and 5, okay? And then if you go to a B, you're starting on a white note and ending on 2 black notes, okay? So just kind of bear that in mind. That's not going to come up for quite a while though, okay? So just a little bit of information. So that's kind of how you would play Circle of Life, and that's not the song we're going to do today, but again, that's kind of a good example. The song I want to teach you is going to be a little bit easier. So we're going to do Stand By Me, and these, the chords we're using, we kind of touched on in the previous lesson, so we're going to do the Oompa rhythm. So you have 2 measures on C, 2 measures on the A minor. See, I'm going to, instead of going here and all the way up here, we're going to go C, you need to go 2 to the left to your A minor, then 2 to the left, then to the F, or to the G. Okay, and it does the G for a measure, okay? Now these lyrics, you can get these lead sheets from Ultimate Guitar Tab. You can find songs that have chords. You look for songs in the key of C, and you could sit down and play those and accompany yourself on them. When the night is come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Won't you stand by me? Okay, so it's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, so if you play that and get that down pretty good, there's going to be I've got like about 3 or 4 more songs that we can use these same chords on. So we want to get you practicing those, and once you get comfortable doing that own paw, you can vary the rhythm 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. Or you go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1. Okay, so any combination you can come up with. So you're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Okay, just any combination you feel comfortable with right now is great. Don't overthink it. That's what I always tell my guitar students, like with your rhythm. You know, just break it down into 8 notes, and as you play it, keep it very simple at first until you're really comfortable with that, and then, you know, you can add let me put some pedal on here. Okay, so that's just adding that major 7th to each of the chords. Okay, kind of a fun thing to do. But again, not to overly complicate it to what you want to do, and especially it's helpful if you can sing. This would be a great exercise just to keep that basic rhythm. Okay. And then see if you can sing along with it. And again, if you have a guitar player, they can follow along. I'm actually going to put this, I'll have this on the website. And also you can see that these marks here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are telling you the measures. So you have 2 measures on C, 2 on A, and then you get 1 measure on the F and 1 measure on the G. Let me do that real quick in case I didn't go over that good enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you're going to go to F for 1 measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, G for a measure, back to C for a measure. And then you can do a turnaround 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon. So that would be a great starting place for you. And as I said, if you can learn how to play these chords, when we go into book 2 now, and because we're still going to be doing lots of songs in the key of C, and even when you review book 1, you want to start seeing how the melody notes and maybe the notes on your left hand are actually playing notes from the chord, okay? And that really helps you connect everything, and then you're not just playing random notes, and you're kind of getting more of the big picture. So anyways, that's Stand By Me. Look at some other songs like Poor Little Fool is another one that has those chords. Let's see, the other one is Blue Moon. Blue Moon, I saw you standing alone. Okay, so that's another good one, Blue Moon. There's some, it does something a little bit more complicated in the middle, in the bridge, but it's totally doable. Santa Catalina, 26 miles across the sea, Santa Catalina's waiting for me, Santa Catalina, island of romance, 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 romance. Okay, so that should be pretty exciting. So this would be the cool thing, is that if you you know, within the first month or so of playing piano, you can actually have some songs that you can play. I mean, there's like a lot of people who have played piano that say, oh, they've had lessons for years, but they really don't know how to play anything, okay? And of course they did at one time, when you have all that music, but all the sheet music and all that, but if you don't practice, it just leaves you really, really quickly. And so I try to get people, as well as on guitar, as well as piano, to be able to play actual songs, because that's really where it's at. It's no good to be able to just play pieces of songs. It's like these songs are totally doable for a beginner piano player, and you'd be surprised at how you can start building on these chords. Okay, anyways, once again, I'm going to stop right there, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.